Also tonight, a federal judge has temporarily blocked the Trump administration's spending freeze on federal assistance. This just happened within the last hour.
Such a freeze could affect everything from aid to nonprofits, universities, small business loans, as well as state and local government grants.
Despite the judge blocking that freeze, News Channel 11's Karen Jenkins reveals how there's a lot of confusion from organizations in our region on what such a pause could mean.
Like most entities that receive federal funding, Tusculum University is uncertain of just how impactful this federal funding freeze will be. The federal dollars the school receives now is something President Dr. Scott Hummel says helps students who otherwise might not afford college.
These are programs like Student Support Services and Upward Bound that do tremendous work for low-income, first-generation students that help them get to college and then to be successful in college.
The memo calling for the funding freeze was issued today from the White House Office of Management and Budget. It asked federal agencies to identify and review all federal financial assistance programs and supporting activities consistent with the president's policies and requirements. Specifically mentioned foreign aid, DEI, woke gender ideology, and the Green New Deal. Reaction from lawmakers is divided across party lines. Republican Congresswoman Diana Harshbarger says this pause is focused on being good stewards of the American taxpayers and cutting spending in countless areas of government that are unnecessary and do nothing to move our nation forward. But Virginia Senator Mark Warner calls the freeze overreach.
You want to do a review for efficiency? Yeah, have at it. But this is just going to cause chaos, and it does nothing to lower the price of groceries.
People Inc. in Southwest Virginia receives nearly $16 million annually in federal funding from various agencies for programs like Head Start, Adult Workforce Development, Domestic Violence Advocacy, and more. As of Tuesday afternoon, President and CEO Brian Phipps worried that not only could their programs be impacted, but nearly 300 jobs.
Whenever you get into being able to make payroll and decisions about how do you approach this, knowing that you're going to have to float or provide funds up front to be able to continue those services. So it not only impacts the staff, but certainly the community members that we serve with our funds, and that's what's really distressing.
Tusculum President Hummel says at the end of the day, he believes the value of the federal money Tusculum receives will be realized.
It's needed by our students. It's needed by our area. It is an investment in our area, an investment in the future of our economy.
Now, those agencies who were worried about losing funding this morning, they're now reaching back out and saying they don't think they'll be impacted as much under some clarification they've received from the White House Office of Management and Budgets. But, of course, as this story continues to change, we will be keeping up with it and update the story online as we learn more.
Karen, thanks. Virginia Congressman Morgan Griffith also weighed in on the freeze, saying in part, quote, this temporary pause is meant to give agencies time to identify and review these programs and ensure compliance with law. He goes on to say this is a prudent review by the new Trump administration to be careful stewards of taxpayer money, end quote.